Good evening. Welcome to TenabndTV sports coverage of the Baldwin Highlanders 2025 high school football season. I'm Matt Vandriak, joined by KevinZielmanski and Baldwin Highlanders head coach Dane Brown as we take a look at the Highlanders 2025 season ahead. It's time for our inaugural Sit and Dine with Coach Brown on TenabndTV. Coach, thanks for joining us this week.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate you guys.
Well, we don't know a lot about you, so why don't you tell us a little bit about you, Coach Brown? Tell us about your background. Where'd you go to high school at? Where'd you go to college at? Did you play ball in college? What positions did you play?
Okay. Yeah, so I'm a McKeesport guy. I went to McKeesport, played high school there, had a good high school career. Was fortunate enough and blessed enough to earn a full athletic scholarship at Kent State in Ohio, where James Harrison, the Jack Lamberts went. So they got some storied guys there. So I went there. Was a 3-year starter, 4-year letterman. Played with some great guys that went on to have NFL careers. My senior year was probably, I think, if I'm not mistaken, the best year that Kent State ever had in history. We had the most wins in history, which was 11 wins in the season, and we were ranked. We knocked off ranked teams that year. Played under guys like Coach Hazel, Coach Haycock, who's the defensive coordinator at Iowa State, Coach Marcus Freeman, who's the head coach at Notre Dame. So I gained a lot of knowledge from those guys. And they blessed me, more than I can't thank them enough. So, I always had that passion for football. So when kind of, my playing days was behind me, my dad asked me to come help. He's coaching the freshman team at McKeesport, just to help, with my expertise on defense and whatnot. And that's what kind of made me see that I want to coach. So from there, I got asked to come up to varsity from Coach Miller, and I was there for 5 years as the defensive line coach there, where I coached some great guys that went on and played Division I ball. One guy's actually still two notably guys still playing. One at Akron, Colin Lyons, and another Diamante Diggs down at Florida State. So just being able to coach guys like that kind of helped me build, my resume to want to go ahead and be a head coach, which ultimately led me to the opportunity to coach here at Baldwin. Just the things that I went through in my past helped shape me for wanting my own program and to run it how I seen fit.
Coach, when did you graduate McKeesport High? What year?
2009.
Do you remember what year you won 11 at Kent State?
2012. Yep, 2012 season. We was MAC East champions and went on and played in the MAC championship against Northern Illinois. They had a great quarterback, Jordan Lynch.
Heisman finalist, Jordan Lynch.
Huh?
He was a Heisman finalist.
Yep, he was a Heisman finalist. Yep, he was a beast. So we played against him. We lost to them in double overtime in the MAC championship at Ford Field, where the Lions play. And the winner of that was this was when them at-large bids, were big. So a mid-major school, if they finished in the top 15, got an at-large bid to a BCS bowl. And so they went on and played in the Orange Bowl against Florida State, and we went on and played in the GoDaddy.com Bowl in Alabama against Arkansas State. So we kind of missed our opportunity to get on that BCS stage to play Florida State in that Orange Bowl, but it was a good experience.
McKeesport is a football hotbed, Coach. I remember Diamante Diggs. I covered him a couple of times a few years back. He's a good basketball player too.
Oh yeah, he's a good baseball player too. He's probably one of the best multi-sport athletes that in his age group.
When you played high school ball, what did you play on offense and defense, and then what did you end up playing at Kent State?
So I played defensive line in high school. That took me to Kent State. Also, I played offensive line my senior year. It took me a while to accept wanting to play offense if I wasn't getting the ball, because I played little league. I was always running back, quarterback. So as I got older and was a bigger guy, and they tried to make me a lineman, I just said I'd rather play defense. But I put my pride aside and played some offensive line, but mostly defensive line. where I had my success at, and ultimately went to Kent State, played defensive line as well.
So Baldwin is a new opportunity, and we had talked previously that Baldwin is not known for their football tradition. How did you find out about the job at Baldwin, and what made you decide to come to Baldwin and take over the head coaching job?
I think I reached a point in my coaching career where I was willing to bet on myself. You know, we've had in this time we've had success at McKeesport when I was coaching, and we were this is when we were meeting Aliquippa every semifinals or finals or whatnot, and it came to the point where I just felt the need that I want to try bet on myself. McKeesport is such a rich community when it comes to football. And a lot of us, we stay in McKeesport and coach there and never leave. And I never wanted to be that guy. I always see myself as a leader. So for me to step out of the comfort zone was kind of like the first to do it that I recall, like step out and coach elsewhere, and not be scared to bet on themselves. And so that's where it really came about. And it just so happened that Baldwin had an opening along with a couple other schools that I did interviews for. But ultimately, Baldwin gave me the opportunity. The board was great, when I met with them, and it just felt like a true connection from the beginning. And like you mentioned, in the past it's been struggles, even still to this day. But when I first accepted the job, I did my own research, and I let it be known from the jump that, if this is a 1-year opportunity type deal, it's not likely. I mean, it's a 5-year plan. And I came into this thing with a 5-year plan to turn this thing around. And so that was communicated from the jump.
Thank you for calling Penny, PA's health insurance marketplace. How can I help you?
I need help paying my health insurance premiums.
You came to the right place. Penny gets you the lowest costs on high-quality plans.
Enroll now at penny.com. Paid for with Pennsylvania taxpayer dollars.
When you talked about building a culture at Baldwin, how do you go about doing that? Because you're coming from one extreme to the other. McKeesport has that rich football tradition. You talked about the winning teams, the games with Aliquippa. The Tigers have been to Acrisure a couple of times for the championship games in the last half decade. How do you go about building a culture like that in a place like Baldwin where success has been so few and far between?
I think you have to just be willing to accept that you're not going to be liked by everyone, and everybody don't like change. So I think that's where that stems from. And the administration, they understand that, so they work well with me. But just coming in and just having them forget that, forget what they once knew and build upon what we're creating. So when we first came, I like to use this example that I've been using. So we're in year 3 right now, and our first year after so we do a weight camp, and we stayed the night at the school for a couple days. And the first year, we had probably 5 guys quit. They wanted to go home. So when we stay, there's no cell phones allowed. This is the time you bond with your your brother and your teammate. So that first night, about 5 kids wanted to go home. All right. Year 2, we had probably about 6 kids wanting to go home. Wanting to quit, and ultimately they did quit. This year we had 0. So I say, like, building a culture, it starts with cutting that dead weight. And as tough as that sounds, I think that's what we've done. I think that's where we're at now. So us even having low numbers as far as our roster size, they've always been low, but I feel like the guys that we have in the room, the guys that's on the field with us, there's no dead weight. Like, the dead weight's gone. Like, no one wanted to quit. Everybody wanted to do camp. Everybody wanted to be a football player. Everybody's taking coaching. Everyone's buying into what we're preaching and what we're trying to build towards. And that just gives me a sense of comfort in year 3, stating that, everything is going as I see fit as far as the culture building. Now, once we continue to build on that, now obviously the football IQ has to translate onto the field.
Coach, it seems like you're trying to invest in the student athletes that are willing to invest in the program. Is that kind of like get that balance on both sides?
Yeah, absolutely. So that's what it's about. So like, and not even just here in Baldwin, but I think the generation nowadays, I'm trying to teach them to become like true students of the games. I think as we move forward in the future, a lot of kids aren't becoming true students of the game and like, buying into being a football player. Some kids just want to say they play football to say they play football. They don't really love the game. You know what I mean? So that's what we've been instilling into them, to love and have the passion for the game, and everything else will take care of itself.
So you said it was year 3. So I had the thought, if you could go back to your first meeting with the players at the school, do you remember what you said to them?
Yeah, one of the key points that I said to them is so I did my own history coming in and dating back. We haven't had a winning season since 1999. So over the years we never finished over 500. So one thing about me, I told them guys and the freshmen in the room, I really hit it home on them. But I told the seniors especially that you're building this foundation. You're the layer of this. You're you're the whole blueprint of what we're going to build. And believe it's going to come because I'm a winner. I don't lose. That was one of the statements that I stayed with. That I'm a winner. No matter any situation I'm in, I'm coming out winning. So I told them we're going to turn this thing around.
How did you find your staff to support that message?
It's just honestly, I brought some guys that I've known and coached with along the way, or that were on previous staffs elsewhere in other high schools. But then I also hired on a few that was there maybe for a year or two with the previous staff. So I kind of honestly, I went into this thing, open to everything. Like I sat down with people, interviewed them, and told them my plan, heard from them and their plan, and everything was strategically placed as far as what we wanted to do. And if it didn't align, it kind of obviously didn't work out. But just talking with a person, I'm a good people reader. So once I felt that connection, I knew that the staff that I have now this year is the staff that belongs.
Sounds like you had a good mix of coaches that knew you and how you want to do things, and you kept a few coaches around that knew the players so that you could kind of get a feel from them.
Yeah, and honestly, and my coaches will tell you I don't show no favoritism. I got my dad on my staff with me, and I hold him accountable just like I hold someone that I met last year accountable. So I don't show no favoritism when it comes to that. At the end of the day, we're here for to turn this thing around.
Thank you for calling Penny, PA's official health insurance marketplace. How can I help?
Would preventative care and screenings be an option?
You came to the right place. Penny gets you the lowest cost on high-quality plans.
Enroll now at penny.com. Paid for with Pennsylvania taxpayer dollars.
Coach, what are your biggest obstacles in order to be able to turn the program around, the football program around there at Baldwin?
I think the biggest obstacle for me is building, like, I want to say, like, with the community. So like as far as like getting the community, like I can touch our kids who we have in our room, but now it's getting the community to believe in us, to support us, to support us in every which way, and not talk down on anybody over, like, things that's been going on, as far as losing, uplift them, have that pride amongst themselves. Like, don't go into a game thinking that, okay, oh man, we play Peters Township. We only got 35 guys. Man, I'm a firm believer. 11 play on the field. You know what I mean? And one of my favorite movies is 300. So you know how that goes. So it's just, there's strength in numbers, but if those numbers aren't buying in or willing to go out there and go balls to the wall, it don't matter the numbers.
Talked about the 5-year plan, Coach. So this is, as you said, year 3. You've had a chance to, as you said, weed out, start to grow. What are your expectations for the team here in 2025?
So this year, we're my expectations year in, year out is to win first and foremost. That our motto is win the day. So we worry about winning every little moment. But I also understand that there's going to be growing pains. We're a young team. We're graduating 5 seniors. One who is his second year playing. Another one who's coming off an injury. So we're sophomore and junior heavy with a couple good freshmen present. So it's just continue growing and making them understand the game, and and building that mindset to be a football player. Just not to play football, but to build that mindset to be a football player, and the rest will take care of itself.
Who are some of the players that we should keep our eyes on this year? Who are you expecting some big things from here this season?
Our quarterback, Noah Mikelay, he's a sophomore. Last year, he got thrown into the fire when our quarterback the previous year couldn't play because of an injury. So he's gained 20 pounds since last year. Orm got stronger, so definitely him. Noah Sakani, he's a second team all conference athlete last year in a tough conference. So he's a special guy. He's a leader as well. We have Drayon Fuller, who's our running back linebacker. He's hungry. He wasn't able to play last year because of a suspension, but he's hungry. Been grinding off season along with him and Jordan Bryant, who's another skilled guy. I'm looking for them guys to make some noise. Up front, we have Dylan Klukowski, who's a sophomore, big guy. He probably gained about 30 pounds since last year. Stronger. He's emerged as one of our leaders up front. And then Max Galantine, who's another sophomore. He's my utility guy. He could play any position on the field. And then obviously our senior linemen up front to lead the way, like Hushak and Scheller and them guys. So I'm excited for all them guys to get the opportunity to show what they got.
We talked about this once before, Coach. Kevin and I were talking about this previously as well. Class 5A, considered to be the most difficult classification in the WPIL, probably the entire PIAA. The Allegheny Six Conference is probably, I wouldn't say probably, in my opinion, it is the toughest conference in the WPIL. Moon's head coach, Ryan Lynn, called it the SEC of high school football. How do you prepare your team for that level of competition? Because your non-conference schedule is not exactly easy either.
Yeah, no, we created this like I say, this motto, this slogan that everybody in this room is the only people that matter. We kind of block out the noise of 8 of our 10 games are against top 25 teams that was put out for the Whitfield. So we kind of block them out, and we all we got, we all we need. Everybody in this room is the only people that matter. So we control what we can control. You know what I mean? If they want us to go out there and play in the actual SEC, that's what we got to do. We can't control that. We got to play football. We got to lace up our spikes, tighten up our chin straps, and have our mouthpieces in and ready to hit and play football.
3 years in, Coach, you talked about having a 5-year plan. So when we sit down and do this 2 years from now, what are the long-term goals for that 5-year tenure? Where do you want to be at 2 seasons from now when you hit year 5 of that 5-year plan?
So we hit year 5. So like I said, this sophomore class will be seniors year 5. We have a good 8th grade group of kids coming up. So retaining those kids, keeping those kids from the Catholic schools, keeping them in Baldwin and having them understand that, like, we can win here. We don't have to go elsewhere. So when we talk about the 5-year plan, that 5-year plan in the 5th year looks like us competing with the top teams. So when in my 5 years, I want to be able to get there. We're in the 4th quarter against Peters Township, and it's a tight game, and we're down to the wire, and we're counting on our playmakers to make plays. So year 5, that's what those are the things I look for, to be able to compete with those top teams, and even coming out on top.
Do you have a favorite leather couch or chair that's damaged? Has your car, boat, or RV's interior seen better days? Maybe your business's furniture or your private aircraft's interior could use a little love. You're probably thinking replacement is going to be expensive. And what happens to the damaged piece after you throw it out? Does it just end up in a landfill? It doesn't have to. FiberNew specializes in the restoration of leather, plastic, and vinyl. To get an estimate, connect with us today.
Coach, we're going to do a little something called rapid fire. I'm going to throw 6 quick questions at you. Answer them how you want. There are obviously no wrong or right answers. It's totally up to you. This is going to be an NFL-themed rapid fire for Coach Dane Brown from Baldwin. First question, Tom Brady or Terry Bradshaw?
Tom Brady.
70s steel curtain or the 2005 and 2008 Steelers Super Bowl defenses?
Steel curtain.
How many games will the Steelers win this season?
8.
With that being the answer, the next question was going to be, will the Steelers win a playoff game this year? But I guess the answer is no.
Nah, I'm a Dolphins fan.
Dolphins fan. Over and under is 8.5. So coach is under on that one.
Well, thank you for Johnny Smith as well. I hope that he pays dividends here.
How'd you become a Dolphins fan?
My one of my dad's best friends is a Dolphins fan. So since a kid, and then once I was like, when I was younger, I found out Marino's from Pittsburgh, and that just sealed the deal.
The best player in the NFL currently is who?
Micah Parsons.
Now a Green Bay Packer.
Yep.
And Coach, your way too early Super Bowl prediction.
Winner or 2 teams?
2 teams. You can pick a winner if you'd like.
All right, we got the Detroit Lions and the Bills.
All right. We're going to hold you to this, Coach, because it's recorded. So it's all going to come back. So if the Steelers win 10 games in a playoff game this year, we're going to let Coach Tomlin know that, that Coach Brown and Baldwin was thinking the Dolphins were going to have the better end of the deal this year.
Yeah, and one of my good friends, Roosevelt Nix, used to play fullbacks for him. Yeah, every time he played, I never went to a game. He'll always ask me. He'll leave a ticket at the thing. I'm like, I'll watch it on TV. It's easier.
It is easier. That's true.
Yeah.
That is week 1. That's our interview for TenabndTV with Baldwin head coach Dane Brown, Matt Vandriak, KevinZielmanski. Coach Brown, thanks for joining us. Thanks for all the background info. Thanks for the insight. Thanks for having some fun with us as well this week.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate you guys.
See you guys, and we'll see the Highlanders on TenabndTV. That's this week's episode of Sitting Down with Coach Brown.